You're a noob! Ha 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 ha! I'm not a noob! What's up, fellow collectors? Today I'm talking about the Mortal Kombat Noob Saibot action figure from the Deception line that Jazwares made. And very, very excited to get this figure. It took me a while to hunt this guy down at a good price. You know, something about these older Mortal Kombat figures, man, on eBay and Amazon and all those secondary markets, they're just ridiculously overpriced. And, you know, I was able to pick this guy up relatively cheaply on eBay. You know, sometimes the trick is just to keep searching every day, and eventually something will pop up. And that's basically what happened with this guy. And luckily, I got the normal, you know, repainted variant that has all the black suit kind of accents, because there's two different noobs that they came out with. One was kind of like a mistake. It was all smoky and gray. It's almost like it was like a smoke character rather than a noob character. And then they redid one. And this is actually the one that's a little bit harder to find because it's more accurate to the game. So taking a look at what he comes with here, he's got two swords, display base in the back, and then on the other side here you get to see all the figures that came out within the series. And I have reviews on pretty much all of these figures out right now, except for Kung Lao. He's the last one that I'm trying to hunt down, and man, he is hard to find at a really good price. So I'm just going to keep searching eBay and hopefully something comes up for him, and I got my fingers crossed. But I'm gonna go ahead and open this guy up and review it. Alright, I got this guy opened up and out of the package, and luckily I didn't have any issues with the joints, nothing breaking on me, so I'm really happy about that. You know, I always get nervous opening up some of these older Mortal Kombat figures that are pretty rare, because, you know, if I open it up and it breaks, you know, the likelihood of me being able to replace it is going to be very, very low, and I probably just break out the super glue and touch them up. But you know, it's always a bummer when you get a rare figure that breaks, especially because, you know, they're so expensive to find, and you can't just go out to the store and buy another one to replace it, you know. So luckily, no problems there. The joints are nice and tight, which I'm very, very happy about. Nothing really floppy or loose, which is good. It's going to make really great figure to use for stop motion animations and just to make cool displays with, because you're not going to worry about them falling over and whatnot. Alright, so he comes with two swords. They're basically the exact same thing. They're a little wobbly because they've been in the plastic for so long, and you could actually take a blow dryer and heat it up and straighten it out, and it'll actually fix this problem. Not really too big of a deal, but unfortunately he can't even hold the weapons that he comes with. You know, he comes with closed-fisted hands, so you can't even put, you know, a sword in there at all. But, you know, it's alright for me because I've never really seen Noob Saibot use a sword or any kind of weapons in the game. So I think it's pretty pointless to have any sort of weapons with him. I would have liked to see him come with maybe like a clone version of himself. You know, sometimes he clones himself and, you know, you fight like multiple Noob Saibots. I think that would be pretty cool, but obviously that would increase the price of this guy a lot. You know, I'll probably buy the variant, you know, the smoky variant of him, just to have that kind of display option with like the two noobs. I think that'd be pretty cool. Now he also comes with this display base here that pretty much all the Mortal Kombat figures come with. Basically, it's got the Mortal Kombat Dragon logo on there. You got a couple pegs and a couple peg holes at the bottom of his feet, and then go ahead and just plug right in there. And it works out really nicely because you can go ahead and get him into some pretty cool dynamic style kicking motions, and he'll just stand right up. You don't have to worry about him falling over or whatnot. So that's pretty cool. And luckily too, his feet are pretty flat, so you can actually get him to stand up. You don't really need the base. You know, some of the Mortal Kombat figures you definitely needed a base for in order to get him to stand, but this guy, he stands right up, so I'm really happy about that. Now, talking about the detail on this guy, obviously he's more of a deception-based character, you know, because in the Deception game, he looked more human-like than kind of like this dark specter-like figure that you see in the earlier Mortal Kombat games and the kind of the later Mortal Kombat games. But I don't really care for the human-like element to him. I'd like to see him more in the darker kind of portrayal that he had in Mortal Kombat 3 and even Mortal Kombat 9. I think he looked really cool. But this guy, you know, obviously he still looks good. He's still Noob Saibot-like. You know, I think they did a great job on that face mask and the sculpt. The eyes and the eyebrows, they do look a little over-exaggerated. Sculpting is a little bit, I don't know, just the paint scheme and everything. It kind of throws it off a little bit for me. But as far as the suit and all the details go on the suit, I think it's a really great figure. You know, I like all these silver buckles they have going down, and all the lines and all the sculpting all throughout are really, really nice. Even this little ninja flap here you got going on. And I really like the shin, you know, guards here. I think they look really great. You know, overall this figure has this really dark look to it because it's mostly black and silver. Kind of has that more menacing look, and you know, I'm a fan of all the ninja characters. Actually, Noob Saibot is my all-time favorite ninja out of all, actually my all-time favorite character, mainly because I was the best with him. You know, I could pretty much beat anybody with Noob, and he was actually the first character I used and beat Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 3 on like the hardest setting possible. And I could do it with Noob Saibot, and I couldn't do it with anyone else. So, you know, it was a big moment in my gaming career, and you know, definitely love Noob Saibot for that. That's why he's my favorite character. Now, talking about the articulation, he's packed full of it, which is awesome. He's got a nice 360 motion you could do with the head. No sort of armor or anything limiting that. Then you got a nice 360 motion you can do with the upper arm. There's a little bit of a swivel on the bicep. You got a nice hinge at the elbow, and then the wrists, they swivel as well. Then you got some waist articulation, which is really nice. The legs, I love how far out the legs can kick and how far out to the side and how far back they can kick. It's you know, really great because a lot of these figures, man, you need to have the ability to do some cool kicking motions and punching motions, and if the, you know, articulation isn't there for that, it's really gonna make your displays kind of just lack. You know, I like to make displays where the figures are doing something, or it looks like they're doing something, not just kind of standing straight up and down. You got a nice swivel there at the thigh, hinge at the knee, and then you got a hinge at the ankle as well. So overall, though, this is a really awesome figure, and I highly recommend picking him up. You know, especially if you're a Noob fan like me, it was basically a must-have for me. Especially since I collect pretty much all the Mortal Kombat stuff. You know, it's definitely a goal of mine to have all the Mortal Kombat action figures in my collection. This guy, being that he's my favorite character, it's definitely a must-have. And I hope that some of these Mortal Kombat companies that are coming out with the newer action figures come out with a redone version of Noob. That would be like my ultimate dream come true as a Mortal Kombat collector. But I guess we'll just wait and see. You know, we've seen a lot of Scorpion and Sub-Zero guys being remade. Hopefully they don't leave out Noob, my favorite ninja. So that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you check out my channel. I got a ton of Mortal Kombat figure reviews on there. I also collect other lines as well, like Halo, Walking Dead, Star Wars, all that good nerdy stuff. Make sure you subscribe because I come out with new videos every week. And I will see you all in my next video. And thank you all for watching.